Hi, everybody.
Everybody's calling. Hey, there's
Nicole.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to give it a second and let everybody call in. I'm going to try to shut off our chime unless anybody really wants me to leave it on because maybe it's keeping you awake. Shayna, you're upside down. There you are.
Sorry, I had an incident. My webcam fell off, and then I attached it and realized I was upside down. My bad. I'm here.
I'm like, was it that bad at the office today? You're upside down?
Maybe.
There is a trick that you can do to flip someone's screen.
Oh, gosh.
Right, Shayna, that happened to you?
Yeah, it's Control Shift down.
Down, yeah.
Turns everything upside down. It's a good.
Oh, that's. Oh my
or you can do Control Shift side arrow, and it'll flip everything reverse.
Side
Oh my
reverse.
gosh.
Horizontally.
Yeah.
It's a good
More
trick.
you know.
It sounds like a fun thing to do to prank somebody.
I did it to myself on accident, and it wasn't fun.
I remember that.
An Excel command gone wrong, and
Oh,
yeah, that was rough.
that is rough. All right, let me see now if I can get. I don't know. Trying to get the PowerPoint to open for me. There we go.
These things that are on here anymore. Still on the agenda.
Oops.
Just
We're making last minute adjustments to the agenda. You know, that's all right. This is hot off the press.
Yeah, we're always moving.
Always, everything. It's alive. So I'm going to try to open this in PowerPoint one more time. Is anybody doing anything fun in the fall colors? You know, getting outside for campfires or hikes or anything good?
It is excellent campfire season.
I know, right? For sure.
We'll just delete that slide.
Yeah.
Changed. There we go.
No longer is there a problem with that. I'm just trying to get Zoom to open at the same time as my PowerPoint. It's okay. I'm going to share. Sneak preview. It's all good.
Yeah, when you log on early, you get the sneak preview.
Yeah, it's very cool, actually. Behind the scenes look. All right, we have a couple chats in our chat log already. Nicole, it's all good. Indoor volleyball season kickoff. Sweet.
Is that where you are, Nicole?
All right. Well, let's see.
Do we have Fallon?
We have Fallon.
Yay! Hey, Fallon.
Yay.
Hey, guys. We have Fallon and Shayna. I think that's all of our guest speakers today. So.
All right. So then I suppose we can go ahead and get started. I am going to make sure we're recording. We are. Okay. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? You look like you're moving really fast. Oh, nice, Natasha. Should go and do some beach cleanup. We just came from the beach.
Yeah.
We were doing a photo shoot. Oh, block party. I hope that sounds fun. I think it's going to be nice weather this weekend, Heather, so good for you. Great.
That sounds fun.
Amish country. I love going to Amish country.
That'll be a good time to go too.
Oh, I love it there, you know. I don't think we're getting our coffee.
Oh.
I hear, We ordered some coffee and I don't think it's coming. So now that you said Amish country, I was like, oh, I want some hot cider or something, you know. But our servant went away.
Can everybody hear me okay in the background over here? Okay, good.
Good. Sometimes these these microphones don't pick
Yeah.
up if you're not right in front of them. So it's all good. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have been preparing this webinar for a couple of days now in a storm of things going on. I will say October has been very eventful in our lives as a staff. I'm sure you guys are no different, right? And and it just keeps changing. We've had several changes to our agenda even today because more news is coming from GSUSA, and we're like, let's wait till November to talk about this so we get an update. So there's just a lot of stuff going on, which is very exciting. Never a dull moment, but I'll tell you, I just, I'm excited for everything that's coming. So let's go ahead and get started. I think the very first slide is Megan.
Yeah, I'll talk about this.
Okay.
So we do have a new webinar series starting this year. Last year we had the leader meeting webinars on the first Tuesday of every month, and we're kind of tweaking it a little bit, and we're changing it to the leader learning webinar series. So it is aimed towards troop leader level information, but of course service team members are welcome to listen in too if you want to get that information. And we're going to start the webinars off with general updates and some timely information for them, and then we're going to go into a deep dive on a training of some sort. So coming up in November, we're going to go over our updates, and then we're going to do the 3 processes, 1 powerful program. So we wanted to let you know so that you can encourage the leaders in your units to register. I'll send out the link tomorrow to register so you can share that. It's also on Facebook. I'll share it again on Facebook. So that way you can share that with your leaders. I think it'll be helpful information for them.
Great. This is a really important topic too. I don't know, Nicole or Fallon, do either one of you guys want to chime in a little bit on just, why that's so important and why they should be having their leaders join us? Not to put you on the spot, I'm happy to do it too.
Hey, thank you. I think it's really important to know because number one, we want to make sure that we are delivering the best Girl Scout experience that we can. And by doing that, we really want to function under one band, one sound, right? We don't want everybody doing different. Yes, we want you to do some different stuff, but we don't want meandering around and doing whatever you feel. Also, it's really important to understand what we do and why we do it. So that's why it's awesome to talk about 3 processes in 1 powerful program, especially since it's the beginning of the year. To just drive that point home again.
There you go. And when we talk about 3 processes, that's girl-led, cooperative learning, and learning by doing. So that's what sets us apart. That's what makes Girl Scouts different than everyone else and the best that there is for girls. We do, like Fallon said, a lot of really cool stuff, but it's how we do it. It's our process that makes this program so powerful. And if we're not making sure that we're teaching our volunteers and teaching our leaders how to offer a girl-led program, how are they going to find out, right? So it is a unique thing of Girl Scouting. And so please, please, please encourage them to join us. We're hoping that noontime, I know April, you were saying noon's kind of hard, and Natasha too. And certainly we're happy to hear some feedback. If you guys want to take it to your leaders and see if they have a suggested better time, our thought was that maybe people would chime in at lunchtime, and then they would also maybe just listen to the recording if they couldn't do that. But certainly we are open to change. In case you didn't notice, we change all the time. We're good at change. So
Hey, Kim. I just wanted to pipe in too and just say, if we trust the process, I know the topic is 3 processes, 1 program, but if we trust the process, it's tried and true. It will cause success in your units. It'll cause success in your troops, and it will increase your retention and your ability to recruit as well. Because once the girls are leading and they are having fun, it's going to just automatically draw other girls to the events.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Fallon and Nicole. You guys did great. It's not that you don't eat, breathe, and digest this stuff all day long. So, but yeah. So please help us get people there. And then, okay, a membership update, right?
Yes.
Kim, there were some questions about the video too. Sorry. A couple people had asked where to find the recording, and I responded that they were all on the Nook, but then remembered that I might be lying. Are they on YouTube now, Megan? Can you clarify that, please?
They are on YouTube, but you have to have a link to access them because they're unlisted. And so you do have to access the link through the Nook, but I will share the link afterwards on Facebook anyway. I do want to say that the service team page on the Nook has been reorganized, and hopefully it's a little bit easier. I'm happy to walk people through it if you would like, but it is a little more organized. The Troop Leader Basics is next to be organized. It's been, it was all kind of new, and you kind of organize things as you go, and then things get a little bit messy. So we're going to reorganize it, make it easier to find things like webinar recordings and all different sorts of trainings. So that is coming. Thank you, April, for saying that, because you're right, and you're also speaking on behalf of a lot of other people who are probably thinking the same thing. So yes, we are definitely working on reorganizing that to make it easier.
Thanks. And thanks, Shayna, for keeping an eye out for us on the chat log. Always appreciated. All right. So now the membership numbers, right? So yes. Things are looking pretty good, Megan?
Yeah, for the most part, I think we're a little bit behind, but that doesn't, it's kind of a hard time of the year. We're ramping up at this point. So as you can see down in the bottom right corner, we're at about 77% total of our 2020 goal. The purple numbers are this year's numbers. And so our 2020 numbers year to date, we have a little less than 20,000 girls. Let's see, 7,500 adults and almost 2,000 lifetimes, which that was a huge jump from last year because we had that campaign in April. So we're a little bit trailing, just a little bit behind on everything except for lifetime. One of the reasons why we show you these membership updates is just so you can kind of get a snapshot of where things are in general, in addition to my weekly membership updates, which I'm going to send out starting tomorrow again. So yeah, it's just to give you a snapshot of where we are with things and how things are projecting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're trailing just a little bit, and I believe that we can make this up. We have a lot of recruitment scheduled, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. So we just got to keep moving along. We definitely are coming off an amazing, memorable year, and so we want to keep that momentum and keep inviting girls to the program. So.
Absolutely. And so that brings us to our next benchmark, our goal benchmark. On October 31st, we want to reach 99% of our total 2020 girl retention goal. And so that's only 1 week from today. And our goal is to have at least 16,750 girls renewed. And as of last night at midnight, we had 16,459. So there's just a few hundred more to go in a week. I think that we can do that, especially, we have some, basically at this point, they're lapsed and their vacancies are starting to be displayed and all of that. So it's important that they renew as soon as possible in order to, keep volunteering and also as girls participating the way that they have been.
Yeah, but that's awesome. Think about that. That's really great. We're really close to that benchmark. I know we can do it.
We can. Yeah, definitely.
I think it's within our grasp.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to say is I've had a couple of emails from people who are maybe a registrar or a director who suddenly don't have access to Looker. And I looked into it, and it was because they hadn't renewed their role yet. So if you have not renewed your roles, even if you're a lifetime member, you have to renew your roles in MyGS. So otherwise, you're no longer active in that role as of, 3.5 weeks ago. So it's important to renew your role. And that way you shouldn't have any issues accessing Looker, accessing the different things that you can access and whatever is pertinent to your role. So if you have any questions about how to do that, you just go onto MyGS and into your membership tab and you renew your roles that way. And it's free. It's no extra cost to do that.
Awesome.
Okay, and then next, as of October 15th, all the troop spots that belonged to girls who did not renew for the 2020 year were displayed to the public in the opportunity catalog. So that means that new girls can take that spot as a vacancy in the troop, even if the girl who didn't renew still intends to return. So that means that the girl who does return still has access to that troop, so that would put the troop over its desired number of girls. So that could potentially be a big problem for troops who don't want to go over their desired number of girls. And so that's, at this point, we're kind of past the warning of that happening, and it's happening. So keep an eye, especially registrars, keep an eye on the troop details report and make sure that everything is looking clean, and keep up with those troops as well, communications with those troops.
So I'm going to try something that's just a little out of the ordinary. Leave it to me, right? I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. So, oh, here, stop sharing. Okay. All right. So now it's pop quiz time. So this is a really important thing, because on this day, if you didn't renew your role as a girl in a troop, someone else can take your spot. What day is it that those vacancies get displayed? What day? Megan just gave that to you, so put in the chat room if you know. Yes, look at that.
That's quick. They're on it.
These are like the best of the best.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now if you guys could just help us spread the word to everybody who's not on the call tonight, because if you guys think about it, we have 400 people on service teams at Northeast Ohio. Yeah. And I think there's 10 of us here, or maybe 12 or so. But so that makes it hard to communicate. So you guys are the choir, right? We're preaching the choir. But you passed the test. You did awesome. Now I have to test myself and see if I can reshare. Oh, I did it. Yay. Okay. It's a little fun. All right. Moving on. Speaking of lapsed members, yes. Right? This is a really big, very, very big deal. Speaking of communication and lapsed members. So like Megan said, it's been weeks now since the year started. Last year is over. We renew in April. And April, May, June, July, August, September all happened. And there are still people who did not renew. And so those folks that did not renew, you know, are going to cause a problem, because it looks like they quit Girl Scouting, and we're hoping that's not truly true. However, come now in November, we're going to send out communication. We're going to send another email the end of October to the families of the troops that are lapsed, and to the volunteers in the troops that are lapsed. But these troops that are abandoned, in other words, there's a troop, but nobody's in it. Or there's a troop and there's a couple girls, but there's no leaders. There used to be leaders, but they're gone and they didn't come back. Or maybe nobody's in the troop at all, okay? But those are still troops that existed a couple weeks ago. And we've been doing everything we can to reach them, like calling the families, everything. So we're going to send another email at the end of October. And then we're going to send a hard copy letter in the mail in November. But come the end of November, we're going to start shutting those troops down. Okay? So what does that look like? How do you shut down a troop? We notify the families the troop is disbanded. We call the bank and close the bank account. We notify the leadership they need to do a disbandment form. And we do our best to try to place the girls elsewhere. But guess what happens after that? After we close the bank accounts? What do you guys think happens? I don't know where I did with my chat room. There it is. Okay. Oh, it's still not here. What do you guys think? What do you think happens after? I don't know why I can't see the chat, but it disappeared. Shana, did anybody write anything?
You're muted, Shana.
Gotta unmute Shana. Okay. I can't unmute you, Shayna. You're muted. Oh, there you are.
Oh, I'm here.
There are answers.
Yeah, so Casey had said money is lost. Crystal said they call, LOL.
Yeah.
April says money divided between girls that re-register, and Crystal said the leaders. Which, yeah, they call us. You know, you guys never told us. How dare you? That was our money. We're kind of in a pickle.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And you're right, the money is held. We will hold it here. If any of those girls continue on in another troop or something, their portion of those funds will go with them to their new troop. But yeah, the phone starts ringing off the hook, and all of a sudden, people are like, hey, and we're like, oh, there you are. We thought you flew the coop. So those phone calls stink, by the way. Everybody's mad. So nobody likes to answer the phone after that. But anyway, so help us out, get everybody renewed, have the registrars look at the reports, figure out which of those troops still, are looking like they got abandoned, ghost town troops. We got to get it fixed before about mid-November at the latest, and then we're going to start calling this money back into the office. Okay? Thankathon. Shayna, that's you.
That is me. Here, am I unmuted? Yes, I
Yep.
am. All right, so the link is up here on your screen. If anyone's friends with me on Facebook, I've also shared it a handful of times. This year, it is going to be November 4th through the 8th, so it's coming up in just a couple of weeks. And like last year, we're doing it in the Macedonia office and at the Youngstown office. We've also added slots in the North Canton office for a couple of the days. And next year, we're hoping, fingers crossed, if we can work out logistics, to pilot it at Lorraine so that all of our service centers will be participating. So please spread the word to the junior cadet, senior, and ambassador girls in your units. This is basically a telethon where they come to the office, we give them snacks, we give them a script, and we give them a whole long list of phone numbers where the goal is to reach every single first-year leader. And then after that, hopefully we make it through that list, and then we'll start calling all of the service team members, so you guys can maybe expect a phone call. And after that, if there's still girls and still time, we just work our way through the members. The goal is just to call as many people as possible, which is awesome. We have had a couple troops sign up, but there's a lot of slots left open. So please take a look. If you also have any ideas of how to do some extra appreciation in your service units, feel free to share in the chat log. I know some units said that they were going to try to make some calls on the local level, bringing the girls together. We are going to do an appreciation station at the Macedonia office, and I just set up a Facebook Live with Jay and our CEO on that Friday the 8th around, I want to say it's 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. It'll be announced on Facebook. So if you happen to stop in the shop, drop a little note for some of your favorite volunteers where you can have your girls drop a note. And I also wanted to give you guys just a way in advance save the date for our volunteer recognition celebration. It's going to be on April 25th this year. We are at the same venue. It's the Holiday Inn in Independence, but we booked the bigger ballroom. So we are going to be selling tickets this year. We're still working out a little bit of the logistics, but we definitely want to fill all of the seats. So spread the word, submit some nominations. gsneo.org/recognitions is where you do it. We accept them all year round. The cutoff for the 2020 celebration is February 1st. So please, the sooner the better, for my sanity's sake, but we accept them all the way through January up to February 1st. And if you submit it after that, they'll be considered for the 2021 ceremony. And I see a couple things in the chat log, so I'm going to take a look.
Sorry, we can't see the chat log.
Okay, so Heather had written, this was about the previous topic, but I can answer it. How is their portion when troop money is supposed to be the whole troop? So when a troop disbands, it is a little tricky. But say there were 12 girls in the troop, and one girl goes here, then 1/12 would follow to that new troop, and it would belong to that whole troop. So it's not her money. It's benefiting her new troop though. So it's never an individual benefit. It follows to the new troop, if that makes sense. And then Crystal says, love it. Shayna, our service unit, is going to do the thankathon in 2 weeks for all of our leaders per our conversation. That's great. So Crystal, if you want to unmute yourself, feel free. But I know she had shared that she was planning to get some girls together, and since she's the SUD, she has access to Looker, and she's going to pull all of the troop leaders' phone numbers and have the girls make calls on the local level. So that's a great idea. And Heather got a call a couple years ago and got tears in her eyes. Oh, that's so great to hear.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I love it. It's one of my favorite things that we do here. So please encourage your girls to sign up. I'd love to see them. There will be pizza or something of that nature too. So, and it can count as service hours. So.
Thanks, Shayna.
Yes, thank you. Stay tuned. I have policy information at the end.
Woohoo! Could you please keep an eye on the chat log, Shayna? For some reason, it's not showing up for Kim and me.
Yeah, you got it.
Glitch. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the Grow Your Troop campaign. This is something that we've done the past couple of years in the fall to winter time frame. So from November 1st to December 20th, it's going to be running this year. And what the Grow Your Troop campaign is, for anyone who doesn't know, is any troop who adds a girl or a volunteer in any of these volunteer roles to their troop is entered into a drawing. And so that drawing, will happen in January, and the drawing is for all different types of troop experiences run by GSNEO staff. So we have things like, we do 2 categories. Sorry, look at my slide. We have some for K through 5, and then we have some categories for girls ages 6 to 12, so that they're more age appropriate, so that we don't want like, I don't know, maybe an older troop would want something like a younger troop would want, you never know, but they have the opportunity to choose. So add a girl or adult and you get an entry to win. And then every girl or adult added is an entry, so you can get multiple entries. So this is a slide showing some of the experiences from the 2019 year. There was a troop photo shoot, which is over there on the left. And then there was a salt party where they filled jars of different types of salt, and it was a craft for the girls. And then there was also the CEO robotics challenge. So these are just some photos. These are just some of the examples of what has happened in the past year as far as the troop experiences. So they've been really, really cool. Okay, Fallon, you're up.
Yay.
And before Fallon, we did have a comment in the chat log from Natasha. She said her troop is under new leadership. She's one of them and is asking if we can share best practices to outreach and re-engage families.
That's real. I love it. I love starting a dialogue. What would you guys say to that? Who can offer some support? We usually just have to give everyone a couple seconds. Could you restate the question, Shayna?
Yeah, so she is one of the new troop leaders in her troop, and she's asking for best practices to outreach and re-engage families. And I'm not sure, Natasha, can you put in the chat log whether you're a service team member or if you're just a new member of the Girl Scout family and joining us, which is totally fine too. Nicole says phone calls and invitations to parent meetings. April says action begets action, pick something, Facebook band, and be consistent. So different communication platforms. That's a great idea. Yeah, and we always, for newer members at the end of this call, you're always invited to stay on and have more of a dialogue if you want to unmute your line too.
Yep. Thanks. Did that help? Did those answers help? Natasha?
Crystal says flyers, Facebook, only one leader should share and post, not to confuse things. So Natasha is a new troop leader, so not a service team member, but you know, we don't discriminate here, so you're welcome to stay on our call. This is typically for service team members, but you know, hey, maybe that's down the road for you too. So
right. I was going to say, she don't know it. You don't know it yet, but you know, so the service team is just the next thing you get involved in.
Yeah.
No biggie.
She says yes, thank you all, that it was helpful. So we're glad we could help, Natasha.
Good.
That's great. And thank you so much for calling. All right. Fantastic.
All right. So I guess it's up to me now. So last month, for you guys that were here, we chatted a little bit about some upcoming programs and a little bit about GoGo 2.0. So the Gold Award is the highest award that a Girl Scout can earn, and it is designated for grades 9 through 12. So they have to be a registered senior or ambassador Girl Scout. But GSUSA has painstakingly updated our online interface that the girls were using to enter their project proposal forms and final reports. So just a little update. In 2012, Girl Scouts of the USA created a digital platform for girls to enter their Gold Award information so that we would have it all in one database, in one place, one space. They haven't touched it since 2012. Things have changed a whole bunch since 2012. So it doesn't mean that there's any changes to the process itself. It's just that the interface is really fun and it's very girl friendly. It's super interactive. For those of you that know girls that are working on their Girl Scout Gold Award right now, if they're having any issues with data migration, if they're noticing that things are missing that were there before, please have them contact me as soon as possible. And I will get in touch with them and try to figure it out. As with any big data shift, things have probably fallen through the cracks, little small things with a migration this large. Like they literally moved tens of thousands of girls from one platform to the next. So if there's anything that's a little funky or awry, please have them reach out to me as soon as possible. All right, now that I've given that overview, it's time for the fun part so you guys can see the fun stuff that they've added. All right, so the Girl Scout interface for GoGo 2.0, it's a mobile first girl experience, meaning that it is very user-friendly in tablet form, on your mobile platform, on your phone, all that good stuff. So if they have their phone in their hand, if they have their tablets in their hands, it should look very similar to what it looks like on the PC, and it should be just as easy to use. Autosave, super important. Before in the old template, you used to have to click autosave for your stuff to save. Now it just automatically does it because, you know, freak accidents like power going out never happen. So we want to make sure that the girls actually have access to their information. Easier file uploading. The old interface, you had to add a zip file. Mm-hmm. Everybody's computer doesn't zip. I had to download zip on my computer to get access to some of the girls' stuff. So they don't have to zip file anything. All they have to do now is drag it from one place to the next. It's super easy. More coaching. So a lot of times when girls are working on their Gold Award or thinking about it, they may not have an idea nailed down necessarily. So this tool actually helps them think about things that they care about and work through the things that they're passionate about. It's kind of like a Teen Vogue or a 17 quiz. Like, do you like human rights? Do you like working with the elderly? Do you like working with kids? It gives you all these little buckets that you can select. The interactive mind mapping tool is still there. It's just in a line format instead of the bubbles. Detailed budget sections in the timeline section. The old interface did not have the budget or the timeline on it because every council does this a little different. Every council at that time wasn't requiring a budget or a timeline. Now, fast forward 7 years later, every council is. So now I can stop whining about it. So now we actually have a section where we can add a budget, we can add a timeline. The girls don't have to add an additional Excel spreadsheet or anything else to add. They can just do it there. And also, now girls can get verification from their project advisor and their troop leader saying, yes, we know she's working on her Gold Award. We're all good with it. Previously, some sometimes with girls, they don't reach out to the project advisor to say, hey, I'm doing this with you. They just turn it in. And then the project advisor is like, whoa, I didn't know anything about this. So it does give them an opportunity to have everybody vet it into their project. Next slide, please. All right. So this is what the interface looks like.
Ooh.
Which I was telling you guys about all the pictures and all the things that you can pick. So like, you know, do you want to work with the elderly? Do you want to work with children? Do you want to work with animals? What about people with special abilities?
That's cool.
Where do you want to make an impact? Is it your school? Is it your neighborhood? Is it your city? So it really helps them to understand the difference between a local, a national, and a global link, and really helps them to nail down what kind of community they want to work with. Next slide, please. All right, so here's that flowing and investigating part. So the mind mapping tool is just there. It's really helpful to work with. Some girls like it. It's just like writing a mind map for your English paper. You come up with a broad subject and then you build off of it. So it really helps them pare down this really broad topic into something a little streamlined.
I really like how in the cabinet you could see all the Girl Scout stuff.
Right? They were very intentional about this. Next slide, please. Okay, so research. Sometimes girls need a jump start with their research. Sometimes they don't know where to start. They don't know what questions to ask. So if they click the little info buttons at the little green part next to all the titles, they actually get a pop-up that tells you this is what you should be looking for. And it gives questions that are starting points to help them understand what they're doing. I think it's super important because it helps them kind of have some self-directed learning through this process. Next slide, please. I promise I'm not going to be long-winded with this thing, but I'm super excited. All right, so I just want to share with you, you see that gold award emblem right there? When girls complete a step, it twinkles. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. So it twinkles when they finish the step. So you know you're done. It's not all boring, it's animated. So as they've, completed each step, the thing will light up, it'll twinkle, and then they can continue to the next step.
That is so cool.
It's super cute. I would really encourage, if you know of any girls that are interested in the gold, as adults, I would have you guys just like tinker around in there and see what it looks like.
Oh, we can do it too?
That's amazing.
You can totally create a profile. I will kick you out at some point, but at least you can kind of tinker around and play in there and see what's in there.
That was great. That's actually a question from Heather in the chat log. She's asking if a leader can access it just to look around, and it's cool. And she hasn't gotten to the point with her troops yet, and she assumes it doesn't exist for bronze or silver. I think the answer for that is no, maybe not yet.
No. For bronze and silver, we do something a little different. GSNEO actually has a silver award and a bronze award reporting form. If you complete that reporting form, then we send you out a certificate congratulating your efforts. Go Gold Online, I'm pretty sure someone asked this question to GSUSA, and they're not at a space where they have the capacity to handle bronze and silver in this format. They're leaving that up to council.
Wow, this is really exciting.
It is. It's super exciting. Okay, next slide. Let's see what else I can show you guys. Oh, get help. So clearly I need to get help. So looking at this, girls can add their project team. They can add what the roles and responsibilities are. It really gives them the opportunity to have the onus over what their team is doing. Before it was just like put their first name and last name, what do they do at their job, and what's their phone number. It didn't give them an opportunity to expand into the topics and the tasks. So this really gives them an opportunity to do that. Also, again, back to this project team member. So Heather, I'm going to give you guys a website so you can create a fake account, okay? Just if you create a fake account, please put Heather/fake so I know when to delete it, so I don't call you in for an interview next month, because that was with the project advisor, again, the girls, there's a note that goes to those people that are listed as their troop leader and their project advisor. If they're Juliet, they're carrying adults and their project advisor. They get a verification email. These people have to log in and click, it's okay that she's doing this project with us. We're good with it. That does not mean that they approve the Gold Award project. It just means that everybody's on the same page and they're on board together and there are dependencies built in. So a girl can't move forward until she gets the okay from the project advisor that says, yeah, it's cool that she does this project with us.
Nice.
Next slide. Budget sections, estimated expenses. It's saving our girls' lives one day at a time. So like I said, they don't have to create a separate budget. They don't have to create a separate log of hours. It's here. And it makes it so much more simple for them, as well as us, because, you know, when I get so many emails with attachments, I keep up with it, but things can get lost. So it's good that it's in this space and we can just pull it all together at once. And next slide. Coaching. So again, they learn a bit and then they take the time to type out what they believe. So they learn a bit about what's a national or a global link. They read up on it. Then they learn about how to identify their national or global link, and then they move forward and actually put it in practice on paper or on digital paper. So coaching is great. Next slide. All right. Digital project advisor. So again, I shared with you guys that they submit their project proposals. Troop volunteer and project advisor gets in a verification email. When they get that email, they have to say they agree, and then it comes to the point where the girl can actually click submit. She can't submit her project proposal until these things come back. So if they sent it to a person and they haven't heard back, it really encourages them to reach out to that person and say, hey, can't submit myself until you check out on this letter. Like it fills those dependencies in.
Cool.
And these are a sample of the letters that they get. It's like, hey, Julia Cornelia, this girl says that she's in your troop and she's working on her Gold Award. Do you approve or no? They click the green, I approve. The person that is the project advisor, hey, this girl said she's working with you. Do you agree or no? And then they click, I agree. And then once they get to that point, the girls will get a notification that they can log back into Go Gold Online and submit their final report or their project proposal.
It's probably a good idea for the girl to let the advisor know this stuff's coming and to check her spam, you know.
Yep. Because before they were just getting CC'd on the email, like, hey, this is coming through. And some people knew, some people didn't. Some people were like, oh, we just talked for like 2 minutes. So now it gives them an opportunity to have a more robust conversation and a more purposeful plan and conversation.
That's great.
Email submission. Okay, so the girls can include whoever they want to include in on this email, but when they're ready to submit their proposal, the button will light up in yellow. They can click submit and they can adjust their email to say whatever they needed to say. If they've attached anything, it'll say, Jamie has attached this in this document, and they can adjust that email to say whatever they want it to. Or it could just be as generic as it's already populated.
Gotcha.
And the income log, the expense log, so those, the budgets. So sometimes girls struggle with creating a budget, right? Sometimes grown-ups struggle with creating a budget. So with that, girls can put in their income and their expenses separately, and it'll help collate their budget together.
Nice.
And then the time log, which is always super important because GSNEO requires that girls submit a budget, their time log, and a letter of support. The budget and the time log are already built into Go Gold Online. So this is just a way for them to track the things that they've done already and the things that they plan to do so we can make sure that their project meets at least that 80-hour minimum. Whew, I put a lot of slides in here. All right. So the digital project advisor, again, the project advisor approval, they click I approve. I just wanted you guys to see it again, clearly. All right, and that's Go Gold 2.0.
Nice.
That's awesome,
That's
Fallon.
great. Yay.
I liked your slides.
I hope you guys are excited.
They have good snapshots.
Great. Any questions for Fallon? It doesn't look like there's anything outstanding in the question log.
Nope. I'm going to put the Go Gold page in there, though, so you guys can play around in there. Be sure to put fake, unless you would like to come meet with the committee next month. If you're muted.
I think it's me. I'm the next slide. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, there it is, policies, yay. So our volunteer policies are edited annually. The last edit was this past August, so just a couple months ago. Can I ask in the question log, when's the last time you read the policy manual front to back? Just curious. Never, nobody's answering. That's okay. 2 years ago, okay.
Years ago.
April's face. I think April's face says that she did it at least yesterday.
At least yesterday. I thought that was the answer. Yeah, every day, right? Never. So, exactly. And that's why someone said, no clue, never all the way through. And we totally get that. And that's why we are trying to make it easier than ever to get familiar with our policies. So if you go to, sorry, I killed the tree and printed it and said never again. Okay. At least you're honest. So on our GSNEO website now, if you click on the volunteer tab and then the volunteer resources tab, there is now a volunteer policies tab. And this here on the screen is what it looks like. So the policies are broken down into sections, and they include links to all of the forms, etc., that are referenced. So the new format is so much easier to navigate than a PDF. You can look at exactly what you need instead of just sitting and reading that, I don't even know, dozens of pages front to back. But for those who prefer a printed copy, the PDF is still available on the website as well. So if you could go, and Heather says, looks awesome, Shayna. Thank you very much for this project. So if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide. Our financial policies are super important. All of our policies are important, but our financial policies are incredibly important for leaders to be familiar with. And you as service team members should really know these policies pretty thoroughly. So I created this 20 questions game. It's a true or false scenarios based on real life situations that have come up, and it's now available on the Nook. This is the link to it. But if you on your own time want to read through the document, and I encourage you to test out a few of the questions maybe at your next leader meeting, at your next service team meeting, and you might be surprised what you learn. So I put a couple examples here on the slide just to practice and see what we know. So if you can go to the next slide. All of the girls in a troop are on the soccer team together. They voted to use their cookie profits to buy their soccer uniforms. Since all of the girls are benefiting equally, it follows policy. True or false? Nope, no. False, false? No. Okay. Well, you guys are just too smart. If you go to the next slide, it is false. So according to our policies, page 21, our bank account policy, our Girl Scout accounts must only be used to support the Girl Scout program. Money earned by girls can only be used to fund their Girl Scout experience. So girls can choose to use cookie profits to purchase Girl Scout uniform pieces, but not soccer uniform pieces. And Connie's saying someone did this. No, not this specifically, but we have had questions where it's, can Girl Scout funds purchase membership in another organization and things like that. So
names have been changed to protect the innocent, Connie.
Correct. Absolutely.
That was a good
All right.
example.
What was that?
I said that was a good example.
Thank you. Yeah, I created it. I was invited to be a guest speaker at a service unit meeting, and this sort of came out of it. And then I adopted it. I was like, this could benefit everyone. So it was really fun, and it's even better because here you see what the first person says, and then you all just said false. I'm just kidding. You knew the answer. But if you say, you know, at the same time, raise your hand, trues and false. We had a lot of debate, and people seem to learn. So yeah, I like the idea of true or false signs to hold up too. That's fun.
Oh.
So and I have just one more. Like I said, there's 20, but this is just the second one. So girls can vote to donate 25% of their cookie profits to the local animal shelter. Is this true or false? True, says Heather. True, says Connie. I think it's true, says April. Casey says false. However, they can buy goods for that amount. We have a true, we have a false. See, this is fun, right? All right, so let's flip to the answer. It is true. So, while no Girl Scout member in their Girl Scout capacity or in uniform may raise or solicit money for other organizations or participate in walkathons, telethons, etc., that raise money for other organizations, girl members can support through contributing a portion of their treasury or through volunteer service projects. And that's because of tax reasons for GSNEO, but that is true. Girls are able to vote to donate, whether it's cookie proceeds, and the 25% was just kind of a trick question. There's no restrictions on the limit. And Casey, you said buying goods. That's a great idea too. We do encourage that. But if they want to donate funds directly, that is perfectly fine. They just can't go around with a jar or a sign-up sheet that says, we're raising money for the animal shelter. But if they vote that they want to donate a portion of their cookie proceeds or another money earning activity, that's totally fine with our policies. See, you learned something.
Look at that. Look at that.
So yeah, check them out. Like I said, the link is up above. And if it turns out to be a hit, I'm happy to do these for the other sections of our policies as well. So that's all I had.
I bet they would really appreciate that. And, you know, on that note too, by the way, like Shana was saying, she was a speaker at the well, she didn't say, but at the Lakewood Service Unit meeting, they asked her to come out. And we're willing to do stuff like that. So, if, you know, especially if you guys get together for service area leadership team meetings, those regional meetings where service teams come together, you want someone to come out and speak at your SALT meeting, we're willing to do that. Shana's willing, Nicole, Megan, me, and other members of our staff team as well. Even our CEO and our CFO said they'd be happy to come out too. So just take advantage of that. I think it's always good to get out there and to talk with people. And Shana learned a lot that even helped her to understand that there was a need for clarification. And so the relationship building and communication just gets better. So
absolutely. And not just on financial policies. If there's another hot button topic in your area that you think needs some clarification, just reach out to us and someone will come in and talk at your meeting. And Heather says that North Ridgeville posted my quiz. That's awesome. Glad it's getting use.
Yay. Very good. All right. Well, thanks for that policy moment. Really appreciate it. We're trying to do that in each of these meetings this year, is just do some learning pieces as well. I hope that's helpful for you guys. That concludes our meeting for this evening. So just as a reminder, we got to keep working on that membership, get those renewals in, spread the word about the leader learning call, make sure that we're excited about and testing and using the fake first name when we try the Go Gold, and making sure too that we're following those policies, checking out that new user-friendly format. All very important things. So I hope that you found your time with us this evening as worth it. You know, we certainly appreciate you guys calling in. And if you're a new service team member, or you just want to stay on the line for some additional assistance, the staff will stay on the line for just a couple extra minutes in case. But otherwise, that's it, guys. Have a great day. Oh, and here comes my new puppy.
Oh, let's see him or her.
Her. Come here. Say hi.
There she is.
Daisy. Oh my goodness, how cute.
This is Daisy Mae.
Oh,
It's a big teddy bear.
she is a giant puppy. Wow.
Is giant. She's only 7 months old.
Very friendly.
TJ was babysitting, but I think he heard me say goodbye, and that was that. So.
So Sarah's asking where in the Nook are the webinars. So I believe they're under Troop Leader Basics and then Troop Leader Resources.
Yes,
Or
it
the
depends on
leader.
which webinar. For the leader
Yeah.
webinar specifically, yeah. So if you go into Troop Leader Basics, and then it is in Troop Leader Basics Resources. I don't remember exactly which heading are off the top of my head. There might even be one called webinars, but it is in resource.
It is webinars.
Okay. Okay.
And then for these webinars, I believe they're under the service unit team tab. And
Yep,
same
if you
thing
go
under
into-
resources.
Into resources, and then in the service unit team resources page, there's a tab called service unit team. And if you open the service unit team, it's general for all service unit team positions. And there's a little section in there that's all the webinars. And then also in that same section is the leader meeting agendas for every month. So the November leader meeting agenda will be coming out within the next week. And that's where that will be as well.
And Sarah said she sees them, she found them, so thanks.
Yay! Like I said earlier, I did reorganize that service team Nook page, and the Troop Leader Basics is coming next. So, to be continued.
Cool.
Any other questions for us? I see a few people still on the line. And one exited.
Where's the Girl Scout pumpkin?
The
Yeah,
Girl
I don't
Scout pumpkin? Is that a question?
I
Oh.
love the Girl Scout pumpkin. I don't know what
Oh.
that
Maybe
means.
it was your doggy, little pumpkin. I don't know.
No, she's not so little.
Sarah's new to her service unit as a registrar. How do I get access to Looker?
I can answer that, Sarah. So I am the subject matter expert on staff for registrars, so you can reach out to me with questions. But to access Looker, you actually have access as soon as you're active in your role. And actually, exactly where I was saying to find the service team webinar recordings, if you go into the service unit page on the Nook, and then, are you familiar with the Nook? Have you used the Nook much yet? Because I can walk you through it. But if you go into the service unit page on the Nook and then service unit resources, in that same service unit team section is a little part that talks about Looker. There's a webinar that talks to you all about the different, it's about 20 minutes. It's all of the different reports that are available to you on there. And then also on there is how to access your, how to activate your Looker account. It's really simple. You're just going to go in and say forgot password, and then it'll email you a password. But all those resources are there. If you need more help with that, I can help you tomorrow. Just give me a call or an email. Or your CME. I don't know who your CME is, but you reach out to her too.
All right. And
Okay.
Amy signed off, so
I'm
I'll
gonna
bring that
take-
dog back on the screen.
Bring my Daisy Mae. Oh,
I'm typing my email for you,
not
Sarah.
cooperating.
Oh, what a baby.
Say hi, Sheena.
I think
Girl.
she's a mama's girl.
She is.
Oh, yeah. How cute.
Baby. Yeah.
You need
We took her to the
bring
park today.
Oh,
Yeah.
ask
So,
Joanna. She's super busy, I think. Yeah, Joanna, she was on vacation, so I think she's
Yeah.
getting back into the swing of things and probably a little buried like the rest of us.
Send me an email if you want, Sarah. I can help you out tomorrow.
all right. Well, I think that concludes everything for today. So thank you very much. Thanks for the extra questions, Sarah. That's awesome. And I think that's it.
All right.
Yep.
We're good.
See you guys tomorrow. Are you guys in tomorrow?
7 on the dot.
Yeah, we're in tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Drive safe, Sheena.
Bye.